Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Leslie Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Hello. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It podcast interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the thought-provoking convo I had with Naralkar in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that one, pause this now. Figure out how you get to that one on iTunes. Spotify and Google Play, it might be easier. Some of you are on Pandora. There's also Audible and whatever, wherever you are listening. If you're on YouTube,
I'm pretty sure Facebook and Amazon are going to have pods now too. Yeah, Amazon definitely does, I'm sure.
And on YouTube, you know what? It's an algorithm. Maybe just go to the channel. So
anyway, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Wherever you listen, and you are allowed to listen in whatever order you want. You want to start with number 1? My mom got to 7. And we'll find out if she's listening still when she hears this episode. You get to do you, binge out or listen as they come out. That's me. I'm an as they come out kind of girl because my app doesn't ever go back to the old ones I missed. So anyways, enough about podcasts. Brad.
Tell me.
Okay, so first of all, I'm so excited because... in less than 2 weeks, I get to nerd out with people on all the things that I've been studying that they're doing wrong and they don't even know it about their habits and routines. I'm excited.
Well, I'm happy that you're excited.
Thank you. I'm sure you all heard the sound of a husband wonderfully congratulating his wife and validating her feelings right there. Okay, but seriously, so obviously Brad and I have been together a long time, and so he knows.
I was a little distracted. I got kicked under the table, so that kind of...
Well, because I'm not allowed to kick the table, so
I'm so grateful that you didn't kick the table.
Y'all, so just so you know, we get notes from our producers and peeps, and it's constantly like, please don't tap or kick the table or touch the table. And for sure, they're all for me. Every single one of them. Because I can't sit still. And I really want to sit on a couch. That would be amazing. In my dream life, we're recording on a couch.
That's interesting.
And next season. But,
Habits webinar. Awesome.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, peeps. Everything that we know about forming habits, it's a lie.
Huh.
Yeah.
Totally lies.
I totally said it. You better watch out.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is Leslie now knows that it's a lie, and she's explaining the truth.
Yeah, I am. And if you're listening to this, you couldn't see me like do a little dance.
She did. She like wiggled her shoulders like doot, doot, doot.
Make a little noise. We're going to get down with our habits in a real way, y'all, because you don't need 21 days. You don't. And there's a lot of examples of how that to prove that theory incorrect. And you can't rely on motivation. I'm sure you all have like said you want to do something and you then don't feel motivated. And you're like, oh, well, it must be a sign that I don't want to do it.
You know, New Year's coming, so I'm definitely going to make changes with the new me.
Oh my Lord. Do not even do resolutions. BS-ness. Anyways, y'all, so this webinar is free because I can't not share this information. I'm so excited.
I'm so proud of your double negative.
I knew you would talk about it. You want to know how I get in? When I get Brad's attention, I just say double negative and boom, he is present. Not that he wasn't already, but here's the deal. If you want, and on this free webinar, it's only going to have a replay for 3 days. So if you're someone who's listening to this, not today or 2 weeks from now, it's gone. But if you're listening to this as it comes out, hey, reward for those of you who do, this free webinar, you can snag your spot at onlinepilatesclasses.com/habits. That's onlinepilatesclasses.com/habits.
/habits.
/habits. And that's one S, not any others. And what else can we say about habit? So onlinepilatesclasses.com/habits, free webinar. It's going to happen on September 7th.
Septiembre.
At 12 p.m. PST. If you don't know what that time is for you, there are things to Google out there that will tell you, but there is a 3-day replay for those of you who can't watch it live because it might be 3 a.m. your time. I hear you. I see you.
Kai Prambuan.
Yeah, way to go. That was Kamai, y'all, for who's wondering. I don't think we're tracking there yet, but to our Cambodian friends, I hope you love that. So anyways, make sure that you sign up. It'll be on September 7th. It's a 1-hour webinar. I keep it short, quick, and get you ready to go. There'll be a special offer situation going on if you watch that live, so you want to. If you watch on the replay, there's still something good for you. So just
it's true.
Sign up. Snag your spot, onlinepilatesclasses.com/habits, because I can't wait to share this with you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, babe, what's our question this week? We got one.
Okay, we totally got one. And the question was, if you were not teaching Pilates or doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing instead? And I kind of thought this was fun. I thought this was a nice, what if dream kind of situation here. But why don't you tell us what you would be doing instead if Pilates wasn't your jam? And I think I'm gonna go with not what would you be stuck doing, in if you didn't take the life path that you took. I'm gonna go with if you could just swap lives with anybody else, what would you want to be doing? Yeah,
I mean, I took this as what would I be doing in my next life? So y'all,
there's that.
Tequila sommelier and a hard kombucha bar.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, both. I already know where I need to go to school. I know how much time I need to have. You can better believe I've already trying to figure out how to hack my work schedule so I can spend some time in Oaxaca for I minimum 1 month, but I would love to go for 2 because I want a special certification. That will be my tequila sommelier situation. And then one day in our backyard, we will have a whole patio by this beautiful mural that we already have, because be it till you see it, y'all. And I'm going to put in a bar, and it will have hard kombucha on draft that I will brew myself, and a whole thing of tequilas, my favorite ones, and I will be able to literally be the person who talks to people and goes, oh, this is the tequila for you. That's the dream. That's the dream. That's what I'd be doing if I, in my next life after my Pilates life. And that doesn't mean I won't be teaching Pilates. It's just that's my next life. So I just changed the question.
I love it. Okay.
What would you be doing?
So I find that really interesting. So I always imagined when I was younger that I would open up a jazz bar.
Oh.
And so / restaurant.
Well, can I be your tequila sommelier? Do people who listen to jazz drink tequila?
Sure, we'll go with that. I'm sure they do. Why would they not? So basically, that's kind of where my heart is at. And I've always thought that would be a fun thing to do. Maybe when I'm older and I'm not trying to gallivant around the world, and I'm looking forward to kind of chilling.
I can see that, babe. We live in Vegas. This is not a hard thing. We could actually probably open it up, in the arts district.
I would love that. I think that would be really amazing.
And we'll just ride our bikes down there. And I mean, there isn't one down there right now, so you may just be able to be the first.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that question. That's a great question. Definitely fun to dream, to think, and to kind of visualize all that.
Agreed. I can't wait. I'm excited to go to school.
I want to go live in Mexico for a couple months and do a sommelier course.
Wasn't going by myself. So y'all can send your questions in on a DM to beitpod on Instagram. Whatever the question is, just send it in. We'll answer on the next recap.
Yeah. Curious about anything? DM us.
Yeah.
Please
I'm
do.
into it.
All right. Now, let's talk about ZUMA Naralkar. ZUMA is an integrative. That's so funny. I didn't butcher her name, but I butchered integrative.
I think it's integrative.
Integrative.
Leave it in.
Integratron. Uma is an integrative nutritionist
I love you so much.
with a thriving practice in Los Angeles, California. She works as a at home and abroad, helping her clients optimize their health with small shifts in their diet and lifestyle. Most of her clients are women in the age group of 25 to 55, and she specializes in hormonal health, digestive health, and optimal fat loss. And her mission is to help others change the way they are eating, moving, and thinking to reverse their symptoms and live a happier and healthier life. That's pretty amazing, actually.
Well, I'm all about this. I mean, after spending 10 years with stomach issues, when I meet anyone who's helping people reverse the problems that they have in their life and live a healthier life, I thought I was living a really healthy life and my stomach wasn't digesting stuff. So I really was absolutely drawn to her when I met her.
Yeah.
And anyone helping people solve problems like that, I'm all about bringing to you, because the truth is that so much of what we want to do in this life is affected by how we feel, and how we feel is affected by how we eat. So
yeah, stress, yay, it's a party.
It's a party. Okay, so here's the deal. There were so many things I loved. I mean, it's Uma, and she's amazing. And we talked about a lot. I have to just say, I'm so proud of myself because I asked her a question no one's ever asked her. So patting myself on the back as a new podcast host when I interviewed her. Anyways, I'm super humbled. Don't worry, my husband will tell you. So I was looking back on this conversation, and something that I really, liked that she was talking about was like her experience with food when she came to the U.S. in her 20s. And she, we don't think about it. We think about the way we eat with our family is like, that's the way people eat. And then you go somewhere else, and she came here and she had these like supersized meals, and like how that affected her. And it's so interesting because when I was studying with my Pilates mentor for a year, it's 12 people, and we are together every few months. We meet, like, people fly in to work with this guy, and I live down the street. So it was just like, all right, I'm walking down to go study with my mentor. And all these incredible people came in from around the world. And we went to this restaurant, and it seemed like a healthy restaurant. It was not an American-based restaurant. It was definitely like more of an Asian leaning restaurant. And they order their food, and the food comes out, and they all were like, can I get a to-go box? Yeah. I think I should split a meal next time. And I'm looking at this bowl of food, and I'm like, that's too much. Right. and I was like, really? And I had traveled a lot, but I had not, I guess you just keep, when you're traveling, you're like, ooh, let me taste all this stuff. So I didn't realize that the portion sizes were so big. And seeing our food from people visiting our area's eyes, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, they're big. They're big meals.
Yeah. Well, it's, so Uma actually moved here from India. Mm-hmm. And she said that mostly food was cooked at home. It was healthy, and that was on purpose. They ate very little meat. Meat was like a treat for them, and they would get it on the weekends, kind of thing. And then she moved here, and as a college student, and she's doesn't have that much money, and what's the cheapest option?
Yeah,
is a supersized meal. And she was like, "What? This is an insane amount of food. How is this the cheapest option? What is happening here?" And I think that was a mind-blowing experience for her. And so anyway, yeah, that's pretty funny. I definitely remember when we were traveling a lot, noticing the difference when we go elsewhere.
Yeah.
When we're not in the United States and we order dinner, and I'm like, should I order more? I think the reality is we just eat too much.
Yeah, I know. I've been working on that. Just making, I think even recently we have both ordered one less roll with sushi, and I was like, look at us. Yeah. Having just the right amount of food. Yeah. And not being stuffed.
I mean, that's a hard thing. I was definitely taught, like, clean your plate, you should have no food, all that stuff. And also I still had this like mentality of, I remember being so proud that I was able to eat more when I was a teenager, right? And my mom being like, he's a growing boy, and like, I was like, yes, I am. And I was like, I'll have another piece of chicken or whatever it was. And I always this became a badge of honor where I was like, I eat more than everyone else here at dinner. And I've done that now for, most of my life. And, now that I'm in my late 30s, I don't actually feel good when I eat like that. I just kind of feel like, ugh.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I think you were one of the few people who said, it's okay if you don't finish all the food. And I was like, but there's people starving out there.
Right.
And apparently I need to eat for them. So
that's the story we tell ourselves, right?
And it's not like, whatever you want to do, y'all. I don't want to tell anyone what they shouldn't. I'm not a nutritionist like Uma is, but it's really about how you feel. And I don't feel good when I overeat. And so I'm not necessarily like the trophy, like the model of a healthy eating, but I'm definitely trying to just not feel like I overate.
Yeah.
Because then I don't want to go for the dog walk, and I love the dog walk.
Sure. So. Totally.
Anyways, what did you love that she said?
Okay, this was really she kind of slipped this in there, and I thought it was really incredible. She talks about the tripod of optimal health. And I love this visual, and her tripod, how she describes it, is leg number 1 is what you're eating. Leg number 2 is your movement. And then leg number 3 is your mindset and mental health. Mm-hmm. And basically, when it comes to overall optimal health, she said, obviously, you need to be working in all 3 of those spaces, or you're unhealthy. You can be the fittest, most jacked, gym rat person who's like intense about your food. And if you're, beating yourself up mentally, then overall health isn't there.
Right.
Right. Or any 2 of the 3, or 1 of the 3, or none of the 3. I mean, I thought this was a really, really great way to just think about, am I being healthy? Am I living in a healthy manner?
Well, same as the people who like eat super, super healthy. They even work out and they beat themselves up. They judge themselves.
Sure.
They're trying to be perfectionist.
Yeah.
Like you just can't do that. And so actually, this is really interesting. If you are listening to this tripod of health and going, wow, I think I've got my movement down. I think I've got my eating down, but I want that mental health or mindset down. My habits webinar will be really good for you, or vice versa, on any one of those things, because that's a hard tripod I feel like to attain, but then once you're there, I think you could keep it with good habits and routine. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a valid point. Habits would, and routine will cross all 3 legs of the tripod, right? I mean, for example, working out, obviously you got to be consistent, and it's the same with eating. You can still, put in splurge days, but, as long as you're being conscious and consistent of it, so.
Yeah, I think it's really just about eating. It's like fueling, and just being conscious about why you're choosing what you're choosing, Yeah,
and I like the mental health and mindset side of things, because I feel like it's the easiest one. First off, I don't think that it's something that we're ever taught, as growing up, right? We all go to gym class, and then we're taught about the food pyramid, which is a crock of shit. But nobody ever talks about like how you think about yourself, treat yourself until later on in life.
I agree. No one was like, hey, Lesley, stop being so hard on yourself when you're like, I feel like they're like, oh, she's just tries so hard. She's such a hard worker. And I got so much affirmation for being a hard worker and being a perfectionist that no one was just like, it's okay for you to get that wrong. It was like, I got marched back to the teachers. I think I might have had a C in there, but still, like, there was if it wasn't straight A's, that it was not. So, and
I didn't even think I heard the word mindset until I was in my 30s.
Right.
Like, never, I don't know. Like, I heard about mental health, but it was always like, oh, that person's crazy. They don't have good mental health.
Right. It wasn't,
you're either like fine or you're a crazy person. And that's not reality. That's like mental health. Like, yeah.
Y'all, please, no one from the mental health of the apps sponsors a show, but please, 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 I'm such a big fan of therapy. I think everyone should have it. And I think that please find either one of the apps that, you can do or get an actual therapist.
Yeah, you can connect with someone and chat with them.
Yeah, please, because it's a key thing that we're not, at least in the States, no one talked to my 10-year-old self and was like, hey, chill out.
Yeah, this is part of your tripod of optimal health.
Anyways, I think that's such a good one. You know what this made me think of is if you think back to Amy Ledine's episode, she has this really interesting thing that she does with people, which is a behavior habit that you want to like work on, a activity habit, and a nutrition habit, and a growth habit. That's
episode 5. If you're trying to look that up, everyone.
Yeah, she has these things where she helps people pick one out of each of those things. So behavior, activity, nutrition, growth, and that is a great way to think about your day. Like, what's one thing you want to do for activity? Hello, movement. One thing you want to do for nutrition? Hello, eating. What's one thing you want to do for growth of behavior? That's mental health and mindset. Boom. So
that's the tripod right there.
There's your tripod.
Booyah.
Okay, well, we love that. All right.
Amazing. Well, finally, babe, let's talk about the beit action items that you covered with ZUMA.
There were so many good ones.
Yeah, actually, she had a full list.
She did.
And so I feel like we're not going to cover all of them. So definitely go back and listen. She's lovely, and she has a lot to say on these things. And also, what I loved was the things that she said all of them were free.
Yeah, free.
You could literally do them. You don't need to buy anything. Do it like it's a series of steps. So anyway, what bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items did we take away from your convo with ZUMA? The thing that I gravitated to was cooking at home, or at the very least, getting involved in the cooking process. And I actually really enjoy cooking. It's something for me that is relaxing and creative, and I get to. I kind of get to nerd out in the kitchen and put my music on, and I think it is more creative than anything else. But there's also then, of course, the science behind it, making sure that it's cooked properly, right? So, but what she was talking about was getting involved in what it is that you're eating is going to help you with your health, your food part of your optimal tripod, your health tripod.
I love that, and it makes me want to figure out how we can get it so you can cook more, because I love your meals, especially when it gets colder. I'm just putting it out there. I would like more carrot soup.
That's a good soup.
It's a good soup. Okay, well, yeah, I agree. I really did love that all of her beit action items were free, because sometimes I never know what people are going to say for the beit things, and sometimes like hire a coach, and it's like, well,
right.
Yes. And I remember when I was first starting out, that was hard. Or like have a therapist. Yeah, but if you don't have health insurance that covers it, I understand those are expensive. So all of her things were free, and one of my favorites, which should not surprise anyone who knows me, is get sunlight on your face in the early hours. Y'all,
Vitamin D, baby.
I even woke up late the other day because I didn't set my alarm, my sunrise simulation alarm. I never set it the night before. I just fell asleep. And luckily, I've changed my life so that if that happens, I'm still going to be okay. But I woke up an hour later than I normally do. And I was like, oh my God, the dogs have to get walked. And my dad, who's still living with us, he is like, I already walked them. And I was like, well, I need to go for a walk. And so I took a dog because it's really important to me that in the morning I get a walk outside. And not just because it gets hot here in Vegas, but also like, I just think that morning air, that morning sunlight is so important to have. And it really does change. Like I woke up a little bit stressed out, and on that dog walk, not stressed.
Yeah.
Wasn't like, oh my God, I'm running late. I started the day late. Nope. I got this vitamin D, which is like a total positivity drug. It's amazing what our bodies can take it in as. And it reset my day. So even if you're someone who wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, like you get that vitamin D, that sunlight on your face in the early hours. And something I'm really committed to before the end of this year is getting us like outdoor furniture so that I can go and enjoy our outside in the early hours before it does get hot here, but also before the workday starts, just so that you can like really be present in your day. So big on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna chime in with some vitamin C.
Yeah, we actually, you know what's really funny is that we did that was an interesting slurp there that we're not editing out. That's everyone. Are you drinking coffee right now?
Yeah.
It's 7 p.m.
It's good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, one thing I'm committed to doing is on the other day we went for a walk in the middle of the day.
Yes.
And while we truly cannot do that June, July, and most of August, on the days that we can, I think it's really good for us to go do that together so that you, sir, can get some sunlight on your face.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been breaking up my day a little bit and putting a walk in there. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's so nice. And, I love 10,000 steps a day. That's me. Well, all right, everyone. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so incredibly grateful for you. How are you going to use these tips in your life? Let us know by sending us a DM to the pod on IG. All you have to do is screenshot this episode, type on the episode what your takeaway was,
do it,
tag beit pod, and it will automatically show up in my DMs. I love seeing them. It truly makes me so happy because it shows me that what we're doing here is helping you be it till you see it.
Bye now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of As the Crows Fly Media.
It's written, produced, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
Kevin and Belle at Desenio handle all of our audio editing and some social media content.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to our designer Jaira Mondal for creating all of our visuals, which you can't see because this is a podcast, and our digital producer Jay Pedroso for editing all the video each week so you can.
And the Meredith Crowell for keeping us all on point and on time.